Saturday. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alisha and I'm on a journey to living simple, earning smarter, and enjoying life's golden moments. And part of me trying to simplify things and earn smarter is I do delivery apps just to build up my savings and pay off a debt. But today I'm coming in with a little bit something different. I've been looking into kind of starting to resell some items, flip some vintage home decor items, and I am on my way to Savers. Now, here's the thing. I'm only trying to spend $20, nothing over $20. I want to kind of just start off and see what I could possibly purchase, and if it goes well, then I will start with we'll get some more items. So the goal for today going to Savers is spending $20, finding some type of vintage either little knickknacks, dishes, pottery. And I'm like, I've seen, so many people online do it as a part-time hustle. Some even do it as full-time income, which is awesome. But I'm just trying to find ways to where I can generate more income and not necessarily have to be using my car and doing all these delivery apps. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to take you guys along. Let me know down below in the comments if you done any type of reselling on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. There's so many other different platforms. Etsy. I tried trying to do something on Poshmark last year. Bought some items, like clothing items, and y'all, I didn't really put my all into it, and that's the thing. So anyway, I'm gonna try it over again, and I'm gonna be focusing more on like art pieces, vintage items, maybe some vintage purses, or not even vintage purses, but well-made designer items. So anyway, let's see what we can get into. I'll see you guys at Savers. So this piece right there, I love the color on that, but it didn't have any type of signed or stamped type of signature on the bottom. And what I've been researching and looking at other resellers videos is just seeing things that are marked, have some type of, and that are made in the US. So that says that was made in Italy, but it looks like someone just put like some black Sharpie marker, but that was a nice piece, but I wasn't too sure about that. I was a bit overwhelmed because there's so much to look at. It was stamped, and then you'll see later on in the video, I had looked it up on eBay to see if any similar items were selling. That piece was also cute. They had a lot of glassware, but y'all, I just went to kind of go in there and look real quick to see what I can get for $20. I love this piece. Now, I would definitely use that at like my vendor markets, and this is when I started feeling like, okay, Alicia, you have to buy things that are, antique, that have some value. I love boho, very like global that type of decor when I'm styling my craft booth or my booth at vendor market. So I was like, let me just stay focused on the task at hand. And I love the Victorian era with like the Queen Anne furniture legs and whatnot. But anyway, back to thrifting. This had a really nice frame. I didn't really care for the bird in that, but I have to remind myself, you know, you're not shopping for yourself. But I'm like, would anybody else want that in their house? They had a lot of, you know, things that you can find at Home Goods. But I was looking for wood frames that were sturdy, ornate, had some type of distinct detail. But yeah, most of it was pretty, you know, This piece I did pick up. I love the watercolor, and I turned on the back. One thing I learned I've seen online, and I forgot the creator's name, but it was on TikTok and I think Instagram they said for vintage or antique pieces, y'all, I'm still learning. But anyway, with those type of framing, if the framing in the back is nailed down, most likely those are, you know, those are antique items. Anything 20 years vintage, more modern, more newer, you'll see the back of it stapled down. But I don't know because it had the paper on the backing. But anyway, so I'm just perusing the artwork, seeing what there is. This stuck out to me, the Clark's one. This was so cute, and I should have got it, but the reason why I didn't was because the back of it. It looks like maybe someone just put it in a regular wooden frame. I don't know, but I've never seen anything like that. It is my goal to eventually, in Connecticut, there is a antique and vintage trail, so that is my goal, to take a look and, you know, find out. Y'all, okay, this piece here, this stood out to me. It is just so beautiful with the gold detail. This is a nippon, like a Japanese hand-painted dish. So that was $10.99. I put that in the cart because I'm like, that's beautiful. That was the only one there. But I could definitely see someone purchasing that and displaying it just kind of like on a tablescape or a table console. Just making it really nice with some fresh flowers off to the side in a vase. This was an interesting piece too. So I was also checking for if there was any type of wear, any chipping. But yeah, so that was $5.99. But I think it turned, like on the bottom, I think it was more of like a music piece. I did see some travel mugs. I think it was like a St. Martin's travel mug, and y'all, or Martinique rather. I was like, ooh, I could kind of upcycle that and use that as decor, or do something like at my craft market, since my business is also travel inspired, Golden Adorns Living. This piece here, y'all, this stood out to me. So it was marked made in the USA, so I'm like, okay. It didn't have any name or anything, but I did do a eBay search, and it did come up some items similar. So I will post that somewhere in the video. So I went ahead, put that in the cart, and I'm just searching to see if there's any little knickknacks. This piece was made in England, but it's usually sold as a set. I gotta go look at my screenshots, but I forgot. I don't know if there's like if that was like a little butter dish. But I put that in there because I'm like, that's cute, very, very cute. And I feel like my cart at that moment, I was creating a nice little vintage, ambiance there. But yeah, y'all, this was, yeah, it wasn't too much. So here at Savers, I don't know, people, people are thrifting. So the shelves were a bit bare. I mean, they did have some things, but y'all, who is getting clear raw hair color at Savers? Y'all, I don't know. These candlestick holders, those were really cute. I would have got them, but I'm like, I was like, okay, girl, we just gonna see what we can get for $20. This, I was checking if it was real brass, but I believe, y'all, I can't see. I'm editing right now. I can't see if that was made in China. That's another thing I learned too. People don't like things that are made in China. I'm like, okay. So we're looking for things, I guess, made in the USA or in other countries. I don't know if it's because the quality is better, but y'all let me know down below. I'm still learning. Don't come for me. I'm still learning about this whole reselling thing, okay? So I was over here in the shelves, the wood shelves, boxings, and I had to tell myself again, girl, do not shop for anything for your craft booth for the markets, because I have some craft markets that I'm attending in the next few months. So, but anyway, these were some cute little boxes, little, maybe jewelry boxes you could put stuff in. These plates, y'all, I wasn't picking them up for reselling. I was picking them up if I could display my my handmade items on there. So, y'all, I was warring with myself. This was an interesting box, but it had no type of marking. And my thing is too, I don't know, okay, if it doesn't have a marking, would someone still purchase it if it's still well built? And I mean, I would think so. Then they have those hat boxes. I was just looking at that again for my other small business. But this piece here, this stood out to me. The florals on this, it's pretty scratched up, but I feel like someone can kind of maybe put some wax or kind of paint it. I turned it over to see if there was some type of marking. It said Molly Kelly on the back. I did a Google lens search. There were some similar hand painted trays that came up. So the prices ranged, but they didn't have any markings on the ones that I searched online. They didn't say who it was specifically made by. These were the dishes and pots. I wasn't even trying to check for that day. I was like, let's go ahead and move on to, the dishes, the dining ware, see what we can see what we can get. So that was Staffordshire, Gibson Staffordshire. That thing has definitely been well used. But I figured, someone could definitely upcycle that, or if they're good with repurposing things, they can clean the inside. I do have to kind of check with my friend ChatGPT and see how do you clean up teaware and what's the safest way, because I would just put some baking soda and distill vinegar and see if that cleans it up. But yeah, y'all, I mean, they had some interesting pieces. But yeah, I was like, girl, let's just see. We ain't trying to get too much. We had a $20 deal, and my goal is whatever I get for $20, I want to, if I'm able to at least sell one item. Y'all, I'm trying to sell all my items that I have listed, okay? If I could flip it and get money, and that person out there that loves vintage items, well-made items, and can enjoy these pieces, hey, I got something going, okay? I really like this piece. And then, y'all, yeah, so that was marked. And then I'm like, okay, where's the top? Y'all, you see those pieces? That thing done broke. So I guess Savers figure, okay, well, maybe if someone wants it, they can just glue it back together if they're good at that. So that was a really nice weighty piece that I picked up briefly. And then that was interesting. That little, I don't know if that was like a teapot situation. I don't know, like a cute little thing. But at this point, I was kind of like done. I was like, okay. I told my mom that I was going to be at her place by 5:30. Y'all, the time was like 6:30. Oh, yeah. So I am making my way over to the handbags to see if possibly there might be something there. So I love scarves and whatnot. You know, I did pass by them briefly, but I'll return. So I was just looking at this point for some purses that were, you know, name brand in good shape that I could possibly resell, but y'all, I don't think this was the place for it. Okay. They did have Anne Klein. I don't think people be checking for Anne Klein like that, but they had Anne Klein, they had Calvin Klein, and that blue one I thought maybe it was like a Dooney and Burke or something. But y'all, honestly, I'm not into like name brand clothing items, so I'm not I love decor, so I was like, let me stick in my lane, and pick up cute, stylish, chic, well-made vintage home decor pieces. So at this point, I'm looking up online, see something similar to that hand-painted tray. So someone has something like the metal tray for $150. I'm like, okay, let's put it in a cart. I could possibly get some stuff. At this point, yeah, I'm checking out, but I will throw the screenshots. I probably already put you on. I'm all over the place, but I will put the screenshots up. Thank goodness. Alright guys, so let me show you guys. I got 4 items it came under $20 after I used a 20% coupon. Okay, so my total came up to $19.63. Not bad. So I did go on to, because I have been watching some other resellers, and they go on to eBay. They do and search to see what's sold. I did find similar items to such as this one. So what I was checking for, hold on, let me tilt this down. So what I was checking for was this is Gibson, Staffordshire, England. So I just figured anything, and I love traveling, I don't know, but anyway, I feel like anything from out of country or made out of the country is pretty cool. So this was $3.99. Then this is, I'll put all the screenshots up on the screen. Let me see, can I tilt it down more? This is made in the US. I did find this on eBay. This stood out to me because it's just such a beautiful piece of pottery, the color and the glaze. And even though it might have some imperfections, I still feel like it's a really good quality piece. And trust me guys, I'm not an expert in reselling or in vintage items, but I think, so here's the struggle that I was having in there. Like, I saw items that I wanted to get like for my craft booth, and I love vintage items, I love modern looking items and bohemian items, but I'm thinking as far as with vintage and quality. So this is hand painted. This is a Nippon, hold on y'all, I just want to make sure I'm in the frame. This is a Nippon dish, and it's beautiful. It's like this raised type of surface, and it has the little like country line detail around. This is just so beautiful. Beautiful little platter. So I did look this up, and I'll put it up on the screen what I found online. This was $10.99. The teapot was $3.99. So I'm gonna get these, take pictures. Now this next item, matter of fact, let me just be careful with this. Okay, so I'll put that in there, and then this piece here, just because I don't want to break anything. Let's see. I need to start carrying, let me just lay that down flat. Okay. This next piece is hand painted tray. Let me see if I can get you guys. So it's this hand painted tray. This was $3.99. There is some different prices coming up, like $150. It is signed, but I didn't find the person's name listed, but it's a Molly Kelly on the back. But it's a nice metal pan. But yeah, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and post these items, take pictures and post them on, let me just put that there, post these items on eBay. So I do have an eBay store, you can see it down below. And the reason why I'm going with eBay and not necessarily Etsy right now, I've had an Etsy shop, I have one, I only have like digital prints, like savings trackers on there, but I feel like on Etsy you have to kind of style the items, and I'm just really trying to take good quality pictures, get them posted, not really do any type of styling to it per se. Just simple, clean, basic pictures, get them on eBay, and hopefully these items will sell. So yeah, y'all, $19.63 for these 4 items. I feel, and another thing too, I feel like so many people are doing reselling, and you know, thrifting is not taboo. Like, oh, you went to the thrift store and got that? I kind of feel like that's how it was back when I was like younger growing up, but I feel like now it's become like it's such an in thing. And but I am gonna go check out, look up some vintage stores in my state and just see what items they have, because Goodwill is expensive. Savers, it's not bad, but I feel like everything is kind of picked over. But anyway, y'all, so we'll see how this goes. I will report to you if any of those items sell, but I really think those are really nice vintage pieces, and that's what I'm gearing to, vintage, because they don't make things, okay, let me rephrase that. Nowadays, it's very, things are so, they're made so quickly and cheaply, and it's kind of really hard to find good quality pieces. And then to also have a piece from the past and a style that was during those times, you know, I'm talking about like like the early 1900s, but not even the early 1900s, but like even like 1970s, the 60s, 50s. Like they had, things were well made as far as with furniture and decor. They lasted long, and that is my aim, gonna be my aim with reselling vintage decor, just because, you know, the items will last long. But anyway, y'all, I will catch you guys on the next video. But I hope you enjoy tagging along with me and starting my reseller vintage decor journey. Let me know down below any tips that you may have as far as with reselling. And other than that, y'all, I'll see you guys on the next one. And like I say, live simple, earn smarter, and enjoy life's golden moments along the way. Bye, y'all.